Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be hanging out, catching up, and playing with some makeup. It has been such a long time since I have just chatted with you guys and talked about life, so I really wanted to film a getting ready with me video, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Now I am clearly rocking some very long pinky rose gold hair today, which is not my usual do. This is a wig that was sent to me from Donna Love Hair. I honestly have always been very intrigued by, but also a little bit intimidated by the world of wigs. I feel like they just kind of like open the door for so much creativity and artistry when you pair them with different makeup looks. Like, there are so many makeup artists that I follow that create these like works of art, I would say, not only with the makeup they're wearing on their face, but the way that they combine the makeup look with wigs and with costumes and with staging and the way they do their photographs. Like, it's so cool. So when Donna Love asked me if I would be interested in trying out a wig from them, I was like, how can I pass this opportunity up? Because I know that I'm normally like hesitant. I don't know a lot about wigs. I've only really worn them with like Halloween costumes, so it's not something I am super experienced in, but I've always been really interested in. So I decided to go for something that was like as far opposite from my natural hair as possible, just because, you know, yellow. And then I went ahead and created a look that was inspired by this hair using, of course, my brand new Pat McGrath palette that I'm sure you guys are very excited to see in action. So yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out some wigs for yourself, they do have a whole bunch of synthetic and natural human hair wigs on their website. This one is a synthetic lace front wig, but I will have their website linked for you guys in the description box to check out. And I know based on how long I've been filming already, this is gonna be a long video, so without me rambling on anymore, let's get into creating this look. Can I just start out by saying I am so happy to be sitting down and talking to you guys and filming this right now. It has been such a long time since I've filmed a video. I mean, technically I did just film a couple of videos the other day, but previous to that, it had been weeks, maybe even close to a month since I really filmed anything. So the last couple videos you guys saw, I had filmed back, I think, in May, and I just waited to put them up. So like, it's been a while. Side note, while I'm talking, I'm just gonna be putting on my Coats primer. But yeah, I think I needed a little bit of a break. I needed some time. I was just definitely not in a space where I was like mentally wanting to put on makeup or sit down in front of a camera and talk. But giving myself that time, now I'm feeling much more energized and I'm like super, super excited to be filming. So I really want to use this Makeup Forever matte velvet skin blurring powder foundation today for you guys. So we're going to go in with concealer first. Which one do I want to use? Maybe we'll go for the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Vanilla, and I'm just going to use this on my under eyes. So yeah, some of you may be wondering like what I've been up to, where I've been at, why I dropped off the face of the earth for like 3 weeks. And honestly, I'm gonna say that the short answer is that I am a real human and I just, oh man, emotionally needed a break so bad. So something I kind of want to talk about, just because I feel like it's something that's not talked about as often here on YouTube, is what it's like to have a full-time job and also have a YouTube channel and the struggle of balancing those two things. And for me in particular, I also volunteer, as many of you know, for a local nonprofit community theater. I am their treasurer. My husband is the president of the organization. So the two of us are kind of like the lead people in charge right now. It's a completely volunteer position. I get paid absolutely nothing to do the work that I do for them. And that does take up a significant chunk of my time as well. We are closed currently because of the pandemic, so we can't do any shows live in person, but we've been trying to generate some virtual content, which is really hard with copyright and internet intellectual property type complications. Like, you can't just do a play and stream it, and even if you can get the rights to do a play. A lot of plays only allow you rights to do live performances, and you are strictly prohibited from recording or streaming those performances. So theater has been really, really tough. Like, that whole industry has been really suffering with this pandemic because our hands are tied with tons of red tape. And so that has been a fun thing that I've been trying to deal with, in the background since, the beginning of March when this all started, plus trying to get our taxes taken care of and keep track of our accounting and figure out sources of income while we're closed and we can't make any money. I'm just going to go ahead and start applying this foundation now. And I'm just going to use the sponge that comes with the compact so you can see how it works. Anyway, needless to say, things with the theater have definitely been taking up a fair amount of my time and energy. And it's a thing that I love doing, but it is basically like an unpaid extra part-time job that I do. So that, plus I'm still working. I've been working full-time through this entire pandemic. I'm able to work from home, which is really amazing. I'm able to do everything I would do in the office remotely, which I know not everyone has the luxury to be able to do. And I feel really fortunate that I have a job at all right now, because I know a lot of people aren't in that position. So please do not mistake my sharing my feelings on this as, not being appreciative of my position, because I definitely am. But as a person that is working full time and that is volunteering, also balancing YouTube into that, it can be a lot. We all have the same number of hours in a day, the same number of hours in a week. And there's only so much that one person can, physically do. Plus, you still have all the regular, adult things we need to do. Like, I am the one in my household that pays all of the bills, and I do all the grocery shopping, and I've been managing, a lot of that stuff. So it's just been a lot. And I think for me, I just hit a point where I felt like I just needed some time to relax, like a quote unquote normal person. Because when you're a YouTuber, and you have a full-time job, it's this weird thing where you sort of feel the pressure of still being able to produce content like everybody else that does YouTube full-time and doesn't have another job, except you just have less time in the day than those people. And as a person that was previously able to kind of do YouTube more full-time because I was self-employed for a little while in there and I didn't really have another working gig until I got the job that I have right now, I think it's especially difficult for me. I am, put a lot of mental pressure on myself to maintain a certain level of productivity, but I don't have the mental or physical capacity sometimes to do so. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using Benefit Hoola and my Kosas Sun Show for my bronzer. I think I'm going to use the M Cosmetics Heaven's Glow blush and this Wander Beauty Wanderess Glow in After Hours highlight. So basically, I feel like I just hit this point, I think because, life in the world right now is really stressful. There's so much going on politically in America. There's so much going on with the coronavirus that I think all of that was weighing on me emotionally to begin with. And then, work has been really busy and it has not let up in the last couple of months. And then there was just a lot going on with the theater that I needed to attend to. And I think it kind of all just hit me at once. And I was just mentally exhausted. And I realized that as much as I love YouTube, I love sitting down and filming and talking to you guys and creating makeup looks, it is work still. Like, it takes time and energy and effort for me to sit down and film and then edit, upload, do the description box links, all that kind of stuff. And I do really genuinely enjoy it. But I think, as is the case with anything that we like, sometimes you need a break. Sometimes I feel like you can get tired of anything that you enjoy and just need a little space from it to renew your love. And I think for me, I just realized that you know, as an introvert, this is still a thing that I consider like being social. And if you are a fellow introvert, sometimes you just hit a point where you're like, I kind of just need to be in my own little bubble to recharge my batteries. So I gave myself permission to do things that like I don't normally really give myself permission to do, like sit down and watch TV. I binge watched 3 seasons of Once Upon a Time over the course of a couple of weeks because that show is not on the air anymore. It's on Netflix, and I used to watch it and I stopped and I never got past, I think, the 3rd season. So I kind of I don't even know why I felt like rewatching it again. Maybe because it's so fluffy and non-serious and like it's a family show. I needed fluff, like with how serious everything is that's been going on in the world. I think sometimes you just need to like allow yourself permission to watch something that's kind of like a guilty pleasure every once in a while. So I let myself watch them Once Upon a Time. I finally bought Stardew Valley, which if you don't know what Stardew Valley is, it's a video game that I believe is available for PC and maybe some other systems as well. And it's basically not a ripoff of Harvest Moon, but it's very strongly inspired by Harvest Moon, which is a game that when I was growing up, I was addicted to. I played Harvest Moon 64 so much when I was, I don't know, maybe like 12 years old or so. And I hear Samantha Ravndal talk about that game all the time. It's been on my Steam wish list for legit years. So when Steam was having a summer sale, and it was, it's a $15 game. It's not like it's expensive to begin with, but it was on sale for $8.99. And I just said, you know what? You've wanted to play this forever, and I basically have purposefully not downloaded it because I'm like, you have too much other stuff to do than play video games. So I just don't allow myself permission to play them. And so I said, you know what, Lauren, if you're going to take a little break, play some Stardew Valley. So for a week, I played a whole bunch of Stardew Valley and I enjoyed myself thoroughly. And honestly, I feel like after having done that, now I feel just like, I don't know, so much more rejuvenated and relaxed and ready to be productive again. I also did kind of hunker down and get a bunch of stuff done for the theater that I needed to do, and crossing that off of my to-do list, I think also really helped me kind of get out of my funk a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but when I have a to-do list with some really big things on it that are looming over my head, until I get them done, it just kind of puts me in this weird, mildly anxious mood kind of all of the time. Side note, I'm just going to use my Benefit Gimme Brow and Precisely My Brow to do my brows today. So yeah, basically for the last 3 weeks, I was a little bit of a bum, a little bit of a couch potato, if you will. But honestly, I don't regret it. And there was a part of me that just, I don't know, I was thinking to myself at the time, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, what would I be doing with my free time? And I realized that I probably would be like a normal person and watch some Netflix and play a video game, read a book, etc., paint. There's a lot of stuff I really enjoy doing. And I think I realized that all of my hobbies are work, basically. That the theater, even though I love it, is work. YouTube, even though I love it, is work sometimes. And all of my free time was basically theater or YouTube when I'm, not working. And there was 0 time for me to do something that was not quote unquote productive. And I think sometimes, we just need permission to do things that have 0 productivity value. I think I also felt in that particular kind of mood that I was in, I just really wasn't in the mood to put on makeup. There were a lot of days where I just kind of was in full-on bum mode. I think every once in a while I go through these phases where I just don't want to be bothered. And again, it's not because I don't love makeup, because I really, really, truly do. And it's a passion that I've had since I was a little kid, basically. I've had a lifelong fascination with the entire beauty industry. But when you love something for your entire life, I think you are pretty much almost destined to have phases where you just like need a little bit of a break from it. Like if your favorite food on earth was cookie dough ice cream, if you ate cookie dough ice cream every single day for your entire life, you'd probably get sick of it. Like sometimes you need a break from something you love so that you can miss it and then like be excited to do it. If you do something every single day and never get a break, you never have a chance to miss it. Speaking of missing things, I think part of the reason I was excited to work with DonaLove when they reached out to me is that I feel like it's been a while since I've done some like really artistic, fun, makeup related things like through pretty much this whole year because of the pandemic. I feel like the majority of makeup looks that I've been wearing have been pretty neutral, everyday friendly. Honestly, even before that, pretty much since I got the job that I currently have and I started like going into an office, I feel like I got much more in the swing of wearing natural makeup, which I do still honestly really love. But I think every once in a while, it's fun to do something that's a little more whimsical or artistic. And as a person that doesn't normally like wear wigs, but that is kind of like intrigued by them, I feel like they can be a fun source of inspiration for creating a look and doing something artistic. So I think that's a perfect segue to actually bust out the wig and put it on, because now that my face makeup is done, I feel like I can put on the wig and then I can do the eyes. Like I kind of feel like I like to have the wig on when I do the eyes so I can kind of get the full picture of how everything is going to look when it's done, because it is a significantly different color than my natural hair. And then we may add some other fun little touches. I don't really know. I just kind of want to be inspired. I want to go with the flow and like see what I can kind of come up with. Now I have already taken this out of the box and kind of like put it on once just to see how it fit. But I can't say that I like did a really particularly good job that one time that I did it because I wasn't trying to like wear it for the day. So my wig did come in this cute little green box and it was all wrapped up really nicely. So here she is. She is this really cool pinky mauvey rose gold color. Clearly, I figured if I was gonna go, for a wig, I should go for a color that my hair, probably in my lifetime will never actually be. I know if I wanted to go a color other than brown, I'd have to completely bleach my hair and then dye it, and that can be really, really hard on your hair. I don't dye my hair at all. It's totally a natural color. So I am not really super interested in going down that path. So for me, I feel like a wig is a nice way to experiment with change and do something fun and artistic without having to commit to actually permanently changing the hair on your head. They also sent me some wig caps and then a little brush, which is nice. So this is a synthetic lace front wig. I don't really know too much about wigs. I know that you can heat style this. You have to be gentle with it. It does seem like it's a decent quality. Like the only other wigs I've ever owned have been from like Halloween shops for Halloween, and those are not exactly the best. But this definitely is a lot more legitimate. It does have clips on the inside for you to secure the wig to your head. It does have a belt in the back for you to adjust the fit, so that way if your head is a little bit smaller like mine is, you can tighten it so that way it'll be nice and secure. And in general, I just feel like inspecting the way that it is woven, it just looks like a much higher quality wig than anything that I have come across, in like costume shops, etc. So I already like French braided my hair back to get it out of the way. I'm also gonna just like spray it a little bit, I think, kind of at the front, just to keep my little baby hairs from going all crazy. And then we're just gonna roll with things. I don't have a whole lot of idea of what I'm doing when it comes to wigs, wig caps, etc. Please leave me your tips and tricks in the comment section down below. I could seriously use them. All right, so I think I kind of sort of have this on, although to be perfectly honest, I still feel like I have quite a ways to go to like perfect the actual like wig application process. And I 100% feel like I could do a much better job of like styling and smoothing this out so it's not quite as, not frizzy, but it's definitely got some flyaways. So you guys will have to let me know what you think of this color. And of course, I feel like we'll have to like really judge it at the very end when I have all of my makeup done. Speaking of which, we have eyeshadow to do, and I wanted to bust out this beautiful baby for you guys because I know you've been anxiously waiting to see this. So I finally ordered as a birthday present to myself, my birthday was the 3rd, my very first Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. I got the Divine Rose, the original Divine Rose palette, and I got it in the limited edition pink packaging. This is what the palette looks like. It is so shiny and beautiful. Yes, it is a neutral palette for sure, but as I've experimented with these shades, I would say this is more of like a neutral smoky leaning palette, and it's super pretty and super fun. So now I feel like the ultimate question is, what kind of look do I want to create today to go with our fun, colorful wig? Now, I think that like one of the standout shades in this palette is this one right here, which is a duochrome that you can see flips between gold and pink. I have worn this one several times in real life since I got this palette, just because I feel like this is the shade that I was personally drawn most towards, and it is super beautiful. And then you also have this really cool duochrome special shade that looks white in the pan, but actually has this like really cool pinky purple flip to it. You also have this really cool ethereal, almost like a glittery top coat. It's just like so wet and shiny and reflective. That one's super pretty to layer on top of other shades. And then this guy right here, I think is a really beautiful smoky lid shade. I might actually go with a look using this today because I feel like that will look cool with the hair, maybe more so than the like orangey pink duochrome shade will. So I'm gonna start by applying a little bit of MAC Paint Pot all over my lid. And while I let that set in, we'll contemplate the game plan. I think I'm going to use these two shades right here. This one in the crease, this one on the lid. I'll probably use this shade up here as an inner corner highlight. I might use this shimmery shade as kind of like a topper over the lid to add extra dimension. We can use this brown shade as a deepening corner in the outer corner. And I might honestly also reach for my little M Cosmetics Divine Skies eyeshadow palette. This is actually paired really, really nicely with this because this adds in more true pink tones. There really aren't any pinks in this palette. This is the closest thing, but it honestly also leans gold. It almost comes across more orangey on the lids. So sometimes I have been liking reaching in this, especially for the rosy toned mattes, just to kind of like add a little bit of extra fun and rosiness to my final look. So yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna take this lighter pink matte shade on a crease brush, and I'm just going to apply this as a first step transition just to add a little bit of that rosiness to the eye before we go in with all of these cooler toned shades. And now I'm gonna go into the matte kind of mauve taupe shade, and we will put that a little lower into the crease and start to build up some dimension. Now, I do have some other news also, personal news, that I don't know when I'm going to announce. When this video goes live, you guys may see some announcements. I think I'll probably post something on my Instagram, so make sure you're following me on Instagram if you're not already, so you can be in the know. But I can say right off the bat that I am not having a baby, so that is not what is going on. But I do have some exciting, fun news in my personal life that also has been part of my needing a little extra time, or it's been something that's been taking up some of my time and energy. I've been doing a lot of researching, so I think that also maybe contributed to the storm of burnout that kind of made me need to like take a little bit of a break. I think I'm just gonna use my finger for this really pretty mauve-y shade. Again, very like sultry, smoky vibes. But yeah, I am excited to fill you guys in on that one particular thing, but I won't have pictures and things to share until Saturday. So come Saturday, I will be able to theoretically share the news. I'm gonna take a little flat brush from Sigma, and I'm gonna spray a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on it. And I'm gonna go into the really like cool shimmery special shade that's here in the bottom corner of the palette. And we'll see what it looks like to apply this wet, because I haven't done that yet. I do feel like that's really pretty, and I feel like it actually does pair really nicely with this hair color. I do feel like a little bit of liner and lashes though is gonna like make this look. So I don't think I want to wing out liner with this eye look. I'm just gonna take a black pencil and smudge this really close to the lash line, and then also do a little bit of tight lining. And I'm just gonna take a small stiff brush to make sure the liner is blended. Gonna do some mascara on the lower lashes. Might not go so crazy on the top because I'm gonna add falsies, but we'll add just like a little for definition. And then I think I'm gonna do the falsies off camera just to save us some time, so I'll be right back. All right, so lashes are on, and what a difference that makes. I feel like these lashes just take this look and complete it in the way that it needs, and I feel like that with the wig, like now I'm really feeling this look. So I think I'm gonna use this liquid lipstick from Nabla that I have been really loving lately. This is the Dreamy Creamy liquid lipstick in Eve, and it's just like the prettiest nude that goes with basically everything. Now, we could leave this look as is, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling like adding some faux freckles to this. Maybe just because we already have the wig and the lashes, like I kind of want to go full on whimsical, like woodland fairy creature type situation. So I'm gonna take a really fine little brush, and I'm gonna just use a teeny bit of the dark brown shadow from that Pat McGrath palette, and I'm gonna like do tiny little dots, and then I like to blend it by like just patting on top of it with my finger to make it look more natural. And I kind of like to use varying pressure to create varying sizes of freckles, and I like it to be pretty sporadic to try to make it look, you know, as real as possible. I don't know how well this is even gonna pick up on camera either, because it's pretty subtle. We'll see when I'm looking at the footage later. All right, you guys, so here is the completed final look. I'm actually really happy with this. It's very different. It's so weird seeing myself with this hair. Like, I'm definitely not used to it, but it's fun, right? Like, sometimes you just like need a change. I'm one of those people that like, I would never get a tattoo. I'm not really one for piercings. I'm not really one for dyeing my hair because I get bored way too easily with things. So I like anything that's temporary that I can put on and take off and not have to like permanently commit to. So I feel like the whole wig thing for me is just, it's a fun way to switch up your look. It's a fun way to step out of your comfort zone, switch things up without committing to like actually changing your hairstyle. All right, you guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was so good to catch up with you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate your support so much. Again, if you're interested in checking out some wigs from Dona Love, I will have their website linked for you guys in the description box. And if you would like to see more of yours truly and you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that button before you go. That way we can hang out together again in the future. And I do want to thank you guys for always being so supportive and so kind and so patient with me every time I disappear for like 3 weeks or a week or a month or whatever, you guys always welcome me back with open arms, and I seriously appreciate it so much. This is, for me, a fun, happy, positive place. I know there's been a lot going on in the YouTube community right now, and honestly, like, I can't. I'm not into the drama. I want to play with makeup and have a good time. So if you feel the same, I hope that you enjoy my videos and enjoy hanging out with me. I do have plenty of videos planned coming your way very soon. So many things that I want to film, so stay tuned for that. And on that note, I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.